Hey everybody, so for today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I kind of want to do a tutorial. I was going to use the whiteboard, but as you can see, my my Sharpie, not Sharpie, but dry erase marker, it's not working, and I can't use the whiteboard. But anyway, for this little tutorial, I wanted to cover a few things just for people that are struggling at the game, things like that. Just as a disclaimer for this, if you are somebody that already has a bunch of gear, doesn't, is leveling up your traders just fine, and everything like that, you're probably not going to get much out of this. So, first thing that we're going to go over is something that should sound pretty simple. But the first thing that we need to do, or that you would need to do, is know what your play style is, right? So for me, I play a lot of island because I'm more of a long distance range player. I don't do upfront close battles that often. And the main reason behind this is because I know my reaction time isn't like what it was when I was in my 20s or in my late teens, and my reaction time's a little bit slower in a game like this. If you don't see somebody before they see you, your reaction time does play a big role in things. So I play more at a distance so I could take shots at people, hopefully before they see me. And not only that, but the play style is going to affect what maps you use, what missions you do, and everything like that too. So building on that, if you're also somebody that is not the best at PvP, that's going to affect what missions you choose. Like if you're doing missions where you're not very good at PvP and you're doing the kill player missions, you're probably not leveling up your traders that fast because you're not getting as many player kills as you need and as quick as you need to get them. You want to focus then on the kill Phoenix task. And the wonderful things that the devs have done is they have both kill Phoenix and kill player tasks just for that reason. And if you're looking at the task and seeing that the kill Phoenix ones aren't that great, well, you still have this one for Spectre, where you get 25 Phoenix and 5 raids, which you should be able to do in 2 to 3 raids on Island with the SMG. And a lot of that is going to be based off of only clearing out or staying in your area where you're spawning in that general area, not directly in the spawn, of course, depending on where the spawn is, but staying in that general area. So like if you start in Lighthouse side, stay in Lighthouse for the first 10-15 minutes of the raid, bring food in, and then go through, loot up whatever's left behind, find bodies that, from people that traded or people that died of bleed damage, kill Phoenixes, go through, and you have a whole half hour to do that. So that's going to be partly knowing what your play style is. Are you good at PvP? Are you not that good at PvP? You have to know this for yourself before you can even start getting better or learn, trying things, because you want to know what that play style is so you can build up your armory and everything like that too. Like for me, I don't like collecting a bunch of stuff, right? I have armor in here, some armor here, more armor, everything like that. I don't know if I'll ever use the armor. I don't have very many guns because I know what guns I like to use, and I use them. I'm not going to collect a bunch of different types of guns just to put on my wall and be like, oh, hey, look, I have these. It doesn't make any sense for me to do that, so that's why I don't do it. So again, just to go back over it, your play style is going to affect your missions, right? Secondly, once you know what your play style is, that's going to affect what maps you use. If you want more long distance fighting, you're going to go island. If you want close quarter combat fighting, you want to do missile silo. If you want a mix of both, you got Maka Miest. So they have 3 different maps now set up to where you can have that range and style of fighting. If you are really struggling and you're like, I want more close quarter combat, but I'm struggling getting stuff out of raid, just do island. Do island, bring some food in, everything like that. Hunker down for the first 10-15 minutes if you're really struggling. And you'll be able to get so much loot out of there and bring food and water in just because, you'll need it to stay in raid that long just in case you don't find it. Like for me, whenever I go into raid, usually I'm not looting for the first 10 to 15 minutes anyway, because I'm trying to find players I can easily take out. I'm not even looting off their bodies necessarily, unless I absolutely have to get food and water or meds. And then even at that point in time, I wait till like, around 35 to 30 minutes left in the raid to even start looting or going places to get loot. The other thing I want to say real quick too is, if you are a casual player where you may be hopping in for 1 or 2 raids a week or less than that, and you're struggling getting stuff, go here to your profile. If you run out of everything completely, if you know you're like, hey, I'm never going to be able to complete these missions to get my traders leveled up, go to profile, reset your account if you have to. It will make it so you have all your starting items. You could continue just being a casual player, going in 1 to 2 times a week if you run out of all your stuff, run out of all your money, and if your traders aren't getting leveled up anyway. It's one of the easiest things to do. So I will say this too, I know some people are going to disagree with me. That's fine. Everybody has their own play style. Everybody has their own opinions on how to do things, and there are things that work for other people. And with that being said, on top of it, you can do everything perfect in a raid and still get one-tapped by a player that doesn't have anything, and they just see you first, or they get the lucky shot off on you while you're shooting at them. It's kind of how the game is set up, to where it doesn't matter necessarily what you have. If somebody gets a lucky shot on you, they're still going to be able to get you taken out. The one thing that gear does is it gives you a better opportunity to be somewhat protected against those other people as well. All right, so we've gone over playstyle. We've gone over missions more or less. I mean, missions are kind of just a guide. Depending on how you play, the missions will work differently for most people. I know a lot of people use these types of missions right here. This one's a good one to have if you want to level up Jerry and just start running it from the beginning. And then these two are my favorite for Minty, because I go after both Phoenix kills and player kills. And then with Spectre, these are the two that I generally run, even though Spectre's level 3 for me, so I might just stop running Spectre missions altogether. Just because, what's the point if I'm able to go find stuff, or I could buy everything I need anyway to get into raid. So number 3 on this list is going to be gear. I was going to put playstyle here, I was going to put missions here, and third was going to be gear. So a lot of times I'll see people running in without anything. Other people will see people running in without anything. Does it work sometimes? Yes. The majority of the time, it will not work. Even the YouTubers that you see that are doing rags to riches runs and things like that, if you've ever stopped to watch their Twitch streams, the majority of the time they get taken out as well, and they have to do a couple attempts just to get a good one in there. Now, are there some times where you could go in, find a great gun, get armor, see a player before they see you, take them out, get their stuff? Yeah, it does happen from time to time. But if people are going in geared from the beginning, you're going to struggle a little bit more on that too. So I know a lot of people will do missile silo for those, because you usually have a gun spawn near where your spawning point is. You could go there, grab the gun, rack it, turn the corner, run after players, try to get them first. If that's the playstyle you want, that's fine. For me, whenever I have time to play a game though, I want to enjoy time in the raid and everything like that. And that's why I generally spend the whole time in the raid as well. So gear is a very important thing. Now, not necessarily for armor. Armor is good if you have it to use it, or if you could buy it, use it. But at least bring a backpack, 1 med, 1 bandage, if anything, with your gun. At least bring those things. Because with how the Phoenixes are set up, you're going to go into raid, get hit by a Phoenix or get hit by a player. Even if you shoot them first, you're going to be down on health, you're going to have to heal up, or you're going to be bleeding, or whatever it may be. And that's going to cause even more issues for you to have to fix, when all you could have had to do in the beginning was bring a med and bring a bandage. Now, bandages are about 200 and something krunas. They don't cost hardly anything. They're worth it to buy. Meds, you should have at least 1 raid a day to get meds by coming in here, and getting an NRS from your and those are every 6 hours for your rations, right? You could sell your cat food and all this stuff for about 1,500 karunas. So you could buy stuff with that too. And if you don't have a gun whatsoever, guess what? You get a gun every 6 hours. Even though it's not a great gun, you should be able to take out a Phoenix with it. And with selling your daily rations and stuff like that that you aren't using and keeping the meds, that's going to be able to let you buy bandages if you're completely out of money, and also buy a sling bag. So you're going to want to at least bring a gun, sling bag, NRS, and a bandage, just to give yourself that time in case you get shot right away to go through the rest of the raid to get those guns and get those player kills. It seems, I will say, it does seem like more people are bringing in gear and bringing in backpacks at least, and a sidearm or whatever it may be, but that is going to be really beneficial for you. The other part with gear is, as soon as you can, get silencers, or as soon as you find a silencer, start using it. Even if it is your only silencer that you have, you're going to have a big advantage on island maps like Matka and stuff like that if you're shooting suppressed, because people won't necessarily be able to hear you if you're far enough away from them. With that being said, if you've ever been shot with a suppressor before, you know the slight panic that ensues when you're being hit, you're taking damage, and you don't hear anything, and you have no idea where it's coming from. That means you're looking around constantly trying to find it. If somebody's not shooting with a suppressor, you hear gunshots, you know the direction those are coming from. You could take cover easier, you could turn and shoot back at them, all those types of things. Use suppressors as soon as you can. Pistol suppressors are something that's also easy to find, so if you're just bringing in a Glock to the island, or missile silo, or Matka, or whatever it may be, almost every single raid I find a pistol suppressor, so those should be relatively easy to find, and they're at level 2 Spectre anyway. So the last thing is to learn the maps. So I know this is said by a lot of people. I know people have done guides on where the key card spawns are, where the graphic card spawns are, where everything is that you could possibly think of. And the main thing is to learn the maps. All right, so it's not just about knowing where those high tier spawns are, but it's knowing what the easiest, where the exfils are in relation to where those high tier spawns are, and where the exfils are in relation to where spawns are. That's why I sit on that hill a lot of the times right outside of research, because it gives me two paths that people travel frequently to get from prison to the boathouse exfil, or to get from research to that border extract that's over there too. So I could catch people, and sometimes people come from prison to go that back way behind research as well. So I get to catch people that have looted those high tier loot spawns and shoot at them and get them out of the game. That way I could take their stuff and not have to worry about actually looting it myself. Is it camping? Yes. Can it get boring? Yes. Do I do all throughout the raid? No, I don't. First, what I do is I clear out my little area that I spawn in if I can, and then I move to that to try to pick up all the other people that are coming out of those high loot areas. And that's one of the things that when people say learn the maps, you're not just learning where the spawns are, where the high loot tier spawns are, you're learning how people move throughout the maps, which is going to be important as well. All right, so I hope this part leading up to now has been helpful. We're going to hop into raid, and we'll see what we can get out of it. Yeah, and I think the most important part whenever you're playing a game or whenever you're going into a game is knowing your play style for that game specifically. Like when I play Population 1, I'm good at close range combat, because if somebody starts shooting at me, I could toss up builds, I could shoot back, I could fly around. It's a lot more of a fast-paced game. Since this game isn't a very fast-paced game, then I don't go through trying to move fast-paced, because my reaction time I know is slower than other people. And I think that's one of the reasons, why it's so important. So, the gears show up. Make sure I don't spawn late into raid. And we're going to just move up here. Hopefully this raid goes good, because I don't have a super long amount of time. The other thing we're looking for is Phoenixes. I don't see any phoenixes, which makes me worry a little bit, so I'm gonna get up here behind this tree behind the hill. And it could just be that they haven't spawned in, or it could be a player's already in there. And maybe I'm late in raid, they had that bottom spawn over there. And yeah, so, and I like coming back here because you could see where the ladder goes up there. So if they've already ran up there, keep eye up that way as well. Keep eye through the windows. Now you could see in them instead of just out of them. No finish. Oh, there's. Oh, wait. Is that a player? I think that was a player that just ran in. I'm gonna have to get closer. One thing. So that box was not open. So I might be good. It might just be the phoenixes haven't spawned in yet. But yeah, there's a spawn down here as well, and a spawn over there. And also use the trees. The phoenixes won't shoot at you if there's a tree there. I think I just heard really faint gunshots. So he's gonna have to go up that way or go up that way. Got him. Crap. Wow. Okay. Hopefully he doesn't have a buddy. Seems like he heard me from a distance. I guess there was somebody up there. But yeah, so he heard me from a distance, shooting, silent, suppressed, because you can't hear suppressed shots. Took his chance with whatever bad gun he had. He almost killed me, he had me half health. But yeah, if he would have had armor, better gun, or anything, like I was saying before, your gear is important. He could have easily taken me out because I didn't know he was there. I was hoping somebody wasn't there. I just see movement back. They just saw movement behind the tents as well. But like I've said, you could do everything right in this game and still get taken out. So I spawned there, that guy was probably there, and we got that other spawn. So the only other spawn that we have to worry about on this side is if somebody's coming over from here, or if there is somebody, nice, that spawned at the, oh, why can't I think of it right now? That spawned at the pipeline and went into radio. Some things. Loot up a little bit. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm looking up there to see if I can see phoenixes or not. And I'm just cutting over to these hills. Because even though this early in the raid, yeah, 37 minutes. I mean, I might have started a couple minutes late. There might be people coming up from that side. Still gunshots over there. I don't see that top box open. I was hoping to see a phoenix. No. Fighting over that way. So right now what I'm looking for is either phoenix or movement. Usually people don't take that long to loot. Nobody's coming up. That area should be clear. So I guess we'll move in. Hope for the best. You could take a little bit more time waiting just for movement if you wanted to. But that's really... See, look, suppressor. Yeah, so now that I know that this side is cleared, I don't have to worry about this side. I only have to worry about this hill. People coming up it, and I am muted. Okay. Make sure you're muted. See, there's a player right there. And he's running bow house. There's no way I'm going to catch him. "33 minutes. And that's one thing too, like I could have put shots at that guy, but there's a player right there. Using that tree for partial coverage. Okay. So we got that one, but more than likely, whoever ran boathouse and I heard the gunshots over there got out with a bunch of stuff. But we kept an eye on the windows, so we didn't walk down in front of anybody. And we only saw one person. Hopefully it's only one. Still have gunshots at boathouse. So the next thing, I see a lot of people moving up this way to get out. There's this spot right here. So, granted, we still have to be careful of that, but if you're running underneath this, you don't have to worry about anybody in here seeing you. They'll hear footsteps, they'll see someone running, but they won't, or they'll hear someone running, and then you only have to worry about that little bit of time right there when you're going around that corner for someone to see you, and you can keep your focus on this side. Always look down there because that's a popular path to move through. And we're going to come in here, look behind us again. behind us that way, get scared from the trees that barely poke up above the mountains, thinking that they're players. And then we're here. Now we do need food and water. We're gonna take a drink of water in real life real quick. Hopefully I don't die. But I wanted to stop here also because I get a lot of kills on this hill. And the reason why is because anybody running that way to that way, or that way over here, all the way up, they don't pay much attention to this spot. Same with people that are running from prison down this road. You have all this open area to take shots at people. Most of the time when people are turning that corner, they're looking for the Phoenix or someone in that camp. They're not looking up here on this hill. I don't know why. It's just how it is. So we took out 3 players. We saw 1 run to extract. That's 4 plus 1 is 5. So we got 29 minutes left in the raid. I want to assume a lot of people got shot or killed. So we'll check research last. Maybe, does it have that? Yeah, I could always double back to that one if I want to. So we'll go down this way. I usually don't check this camp just for the reason that people come over this way, but we're 15 minutes into the raid. There's a Phoenix down there, not aggroed. And I need water, so I'm gonna hope that there's water down here. I haven't heard any shots towards prison, so yeah, we looted the whole map minus Bowhouse, and to be honest, with 14 minutes left, if I really wanted to, I could loot church and go back and loot Bowhouse, and yeah. Wrong way. But yeah, I'm not gonna do that because, well, that's a lot more time being in the game. I don't have a ton of time to play right now, so that's why I wanted to just kind of hop on, and I could just make this video a lot longer. But, well, I mean, I guess I wouldn't make it too much longer of a video, but you get what I mean. I just want to make sure it's not too big a video with how things could be. You get the general idea, right? Stay in raid, get a bunch of loot. That's pretty much what it is. And then also, not only that, but clear out your area that you're spawning at. Granted, if you have a middle spawn, that's a lot harder to do. But at the same time, it paid off having gear because I took out a few players as well. So let's see, we got Bossman, Oziel, and Magical Kate. Oh, we did get on the headshot. Nice. Yeah, we got 10, so that's 7 Phoenix. We got a lot of XP, or a decent amount of XP out of it. I think that just goes to show too, like, how much of a difference having gear and stuff like that could make it for you when you're going into raid. Like, if I didn't have a vest on and a helmet, probably when the person shot me in the back from Lighthouse, he probably would have killed me. I took half health, so there's probably some of those bullets that got stopped by my vest and stuff like that. Every single player I took out didn't have any armor, didn't have a gun. They were just hopping into raid, hoping to find something, it seemed like, and they get taken out of the game. So it does make a difference going into raid, getting stuff. We could have looted a lot more. I left a lot of stuff behind. I know they were saying that there's issues with the height to your loot spawns, but you know, it's just kind of how it is sometimes. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope it turns out